this week, Air Namibia unveiled plans, as I've just said, flying into Lusaka, into Ghana. You've also acquired new aircraft. Tell us a little bit more about your growth prospects and your growth plans.
What we are busy with is a refinement of our old business model. We are covering all aspects of managing the airline, starting from the route network structure. We are positioning ourselves for increasing competitiveness and growth by adding additional destination to our routes and also increasing frequencies on existing routes. For example, Johannesburg, we were flying twice daily, targeting primarily business traffic. Effective 1 October, we are flying 3 times per day, which will enable us to target both business traffic, leisure traffic, as well as traffic going beyond Johannesburg, connecting onto our other partner airlines. So the whole project has got 5 different components. The one is the refleeting. We successfully removed the Beechcraft B1900, which we operated on our domestic routes with the Embraer regional jets 135. We took delivery of 3 of them. The last one came in June. We are expecting one to come in March. This aircraft will be used to service our domestic routes, as well as will be used for developing new routes like Lusaka you alluded to.
Okay, Xavier.
On the regional front, we are busy phasing out the Boeing fleet.
Now, Xavier, the big challenge is that you're a national... The big challenge is that you're a national carrier for a fairly small country. And many people are saying that, you know, national carriers are not competitive, largely because they're hamstrung by government priorities. It's probably better to do a code share and to get into a bit of a private-public partnership. What's your strategy to survive in a very cutthroat aviation industry?
Well, we are a small airline from a small country with a small population, like you rightly said. We see our small size as a strength in the sense that it gives us flexibility. We have role models out there. For example, KLM comes from Holland, a very small country, or the Netherlands, with a very big airline, and they are focusing on moving people from different destinations via their hub, Amsterdam, to other destinations. That is the same model we are applying.
Now, Xavier, there is the question of regional trade, which SADC leaders have made an imperative, and I know it's an ideal you're pursuing. How much of your business is going to be focused on cargo, because that would support the whole idea of regional trade?
Yes, our business model is to transport both passengers and cargo. So cargo is also part of our program to improve competitiveness in the sense of increased frequencies and also additional destinations, moving goods from countries like Zambia to Angola via our hub, just to mention a few.
There have been concerns, Xavier, about the integrity, I'm quoting, of the aviation industry in Namibia in general. Even the U.S. ambassador to Namibia has added her voice to this issue, talking about, for instance, there's poor oversight, particularly on the charter side of the industry. How is Air Namibia dealing with questions of integrity, of safety and quality, so that you don't have any of these historical issues hanging over your head?
Yes, Air Namibia operates on an international platform. We are operating in a highly regulated industry. We are proud to be one of the few African airlines flying into the European airspace. We are also IOSA compliance. IOSA compliance is an industry standard set by IATA. So we are complying. We do not have any fears or concerns that we might be a safety hazard to the public in the markets in which we operate.
Another big challenge for Namibia is that of skills. Not enough pilots, not enough air traffic controllers, and not enough innovative thinkers to really commercialize the running of airlines and airports and creating those synergies. What are you doing in that regard?
Well, I can only speak on behalf of the airline. Air traffic controllers is done from the regulator's side, as well as the airport authorities. Air Namibia is having about 75% of our pilots are Namibians. With the fleet expansion and route network expansion, we are busy training new intakes, so we don't have a shortage as far as the cockpit crew is concerned. Innovative thinkers, this is a global world. We are free to access expertise and consultancies from many different parts of the world to help us move forward, just like any other airline you can find.
A big challenge for the aviation industry in general has been getting the right sort of hedging strategies, particularly with volatile oil prices. And right now we're also seeing that a lot of currencies in emerging markets are starting to impact on the margins of companies. How are you going to cope with the volatile international markets?
We have a fuel hedge program in place, which we have been using. It has given us positive returns. So we will continue to take positions cautiously so that we don't get ourselves overexposed. It's serving its purpose for ourselves. In terms of the currency, when the local currency strengthens against, for example, the euro or US dollars, it gives us benefits and at the same time risks. The destination becomes expensive for European tourists, but we are coping. It's part of the management strategies that we have to employ.
All right, and finally, obviously, the growth plans you've spoken of focus very much on sub-Saharan Africa. What are other plans you've got going forward? I mean, a lot of local airlines in Africa are looking to start working with the tourism industry hand in hand for visitors coming out of Asia, because we know that at least they're a little bit more cash flush. What's your strategy working in tandem with Namibian tourism as well? We
have a business plan which is on a 5-year planning horizon. At the moment, we'll be focusing on the sub-region and also into sub-Saharan Africa, as you mentioned. Other markets like China, Brazil, North America, we will continue to serve them through intermediate points like Frankfurt, where our business partners, other airlines, will transport them. As the traffic to those destinations increase, we will take decisions on whether to launch Air Namibia flights directly. At the moment, we will be focusing on the region.